Hi, everyone. So today I wanted to do a collective reading for the full moon in Gemini, and it's also going to be a lunar eclipse. And so basically, I wanted to do this reading because with the full moon, typically we're meant to release things and we can use it to our advantage. But with a lunar eclipse, it's kind of about letting go of things and actually just going with the flow of things and not trying to use it for our own personal goals. So I wanted to tap into the collective's energy and see what we can do during this full moon to stop resisting and also what we can expect from it, how it's going to affect us. And especially because the lunar eclipse is about closing cycles and it's going to take a couple months for these cycles to fully end. I want to see if we can get insight to how it's going to affect us and what cycles are going to be ending. And sometimes ending doesn't mean like something is over and it's done forever. It just means that it's shifting, it's changing and evolving. And so I want to tap into that energy for the collective. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards. First, I want to ask basically where we're at with this energy right now. Like, what's our starting energy at for the collective? Okay. Those cards just wanted to come right out. I shuffled before ahead of time, so that's why I'm taking these cards. Typically, I would shuffle some more. So we have the Nine of Swords and the Devil card. So this is really good. So this is telling me that right now the collective's energy, it's a little bit fearful and it's trying, and we are resisting. But this is our starting energy, and so that's where this eclipse is really going to come and shake things up. It's going to change things dramatically for us because right now we're this Nine of Swords. We're not ready for change. We like where we're at. We're comfortable. And so we're resisting it, but that doesn't necessarily mean like that it's going to be so horrible when it happens because we have the Page of Cups. So this is telling me that the energy right now, it's like as fearful as we are, as afraid that we will be of change, we're ready for it. We're waiting for that offer to come. The vibe I'm getting, it's kind of like, you know, when you want to leave your job, but you're waiting for another company to try and get you to go to them. So you have some sort of leverage with them. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting that the collective's at right now. It's like we're waiting for the next offer so we can jump on it and we can leave what our fears are holding us onto right now. So I want to see like what exactly this eclipse is going to be affecting for us. Like, is this going to be money, relationships, work? What area of our life is going to be affected? So we have the moon reversed. Okay. And so the moon is about our subconscious and it's about like our hidden fears, the things that we keep away from everyone because the moon represents our emotions. And for it to be reversed, this is telling me that this is shaking up our psyche, who we are on an individual basis. And so this is going to be an overall change of just personalities, of internal struggles and conflict and issues that we've been dealing with. So it's going to be something where it's not really affecting one part of your life, it's just affecting your overall life because we have the Six of Swords. This is a rite of passage. So this is really telling me that this change is going to be leading us towards transitioning, evolving. And this is also letting me know that a lot of this change is not going to be like specifically ending. It's going to be growing up and like moving forward, learning things. So I don't feel like this change is necessarily going to be super dramatic. I think it's going to be more slow and more internal than anything. I don't think it's going to be that a lot of people dramatically like quit their job or anything, or you get fired. For some, that could happen if that's meant for your specific path, but I don't think the collective as a whole is going to be something that's so like in your face and so bold. I really feel like this is going to be a lot more subtle. Let's see if we can get another message about like kind of what we can expect. There we go. Okay, we got the moon card again. This time it's upright. We have the Four of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and Judgment. Okay, this is super interesting. So again, so the moon is basically everything I talked about before, how it's going to be dealing with our emotions. That Four of Pentacles is us right now. It's the collective where we're not ready to let go. We're trying to hold on to everything we have. It's kind of like fight or flight. And so right now we're trying to like fight and keep hold of what we have. And that's when the universe is coming in with Judgment reversed and the Wheel of Fortune, this is really going to be a lot of cycles that we already know deep within ourselves that we just haven't admitted or haven't fully accepted. I think we admitted them deep down, but we just haven't accepted them. And so this Wheel of Fortune, this is telling me that it's going to be positive change. It's going to be change for the better. This is telling me that a lot of karma is balancing out and that things are going to be going our way, because once this Judgment card goes upright, we're going to be living our best lives. Basically, with this Judgment card, this is about living your life as authentically as you can. And so right now it's reversed, which is telling me that this lunar eclipse is going to be creating shifts in our lives that make us quit resisting and holding on to this thing, so that we work on our emotions and we get the balance in our karma, so that we start to live our authentic lives, that we're not holding on to the things we feel like we need to hold on to anymore. Especially a lot of people, I feel like this is going to be like an internal status that you have, where you think you have to like marry this person or have this type of job or, you know, be this type of way. I feel like that's a lot of things that we're going to be letting go of and just starting to make ourselves happy. And so I really feel like this is going to be a change where we start having issues with things that we're doing that are inauthentic for us. And so some of you guys, you may be like leaving your job or relationship, but it won't be something like super dramatic. It really feels like it would be something that you come to on your own conclusion after analyzing it and really looking into it. I definitely feel like with this full moon that it's going to be a time, especially in Gemini. And Gemini is very talkative, but it also sees everyone's perspective. And I feel like this is going to be a full moon specifically where you start to analyze things and you start to see it from someone else's perspective, especially if you haven't taken time to analyze your life and look at it as if you were talking to your friend and giving them advice. I feel like that's what a lot of us in the collective are going to be doing, where we look and analyze things and say, you know, we wouldn't tell our best friend this, so why are we putting up with it? I really feel like that's what we're going to be changing with our perspectives and healing with ourselves. And I really feel like there's going to be a lot of inner healing going on. I want to see if we can figure out what our mental blocks are that are keeping us resisting. I'm going to put these back and shuffle some more. Okay, there we go. So we have the King of Cups reversed, and then the back of the deck energy is Five of Swords. Okay, so some of you guys, you're dealing with a water sign, so that's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, and you're dealing with a water sign, and there's a lot of conflict and tension between them, or you're disagreeing, you're not seeing eye to eye. But for others, this is just talking about not being balanced with yourself, not being emotionally at peace, and not finding your own form of self-fulfillment. I feel like what we're resisting right now is trying to get validation and almost like security from someone else or some other item. So this could be your work. This is just something that you're clinging on to that you're not actually getting fulfillment from, but you're holding on to in hopes that it's going to fulfill you. Some of you guys, this is like trying to live your life through someone else instead of actually going out and living the life you want. And so I really feel like we're going to have to make changes in our lives that make us start to put ourselves out of our comfort zone, start to do things that are best for us, even though they're scary. This is really the energy of like slowly putting yourself out of your comfort zone and learning how to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and doing things you never thought you could. So you prove to yourself that you can overcome them. And because right now there's a lot of disagreements, and I feel like a lot of the collective, this is going to be disagreements with ourselves, where there's like one side of us that it's like afraid of it and like, no, we can't do it. What are you talking about? You're being insane. And then the other side is like, no, we can do it. Like, just listen to me. I got you. And that's like us versus the universe. It's like the part of us that is listening to our intuition. We know we're going to be okay. We know we can jump off that cliff like the fool. But the other part of us is afraid and is talking about all the what ifs. And so this is really going to be a time where we let go of those what ifs and we put ourselves out there so we can learn from it. Because even if it fails, it's not going to fail as bad as you think it is. And even if it does, it's like your spirit guides are telling you, like, you're okay. You survived the worst. It cannot get worse than what you already are expecting in your head. And I really feel like that's what this eclipse is going to be teaching us. It's like, even though things are scary, they can always be scarier, and they're never actually as bad as we make them out to be. Especially for those of you, if you've ever had a tower moment happen in your life, a lot of the time, the scariest part and the loneliest part of that tower moment is before it happens, before you let go of the thing that the universe is pulling you away from. When you're holding on to it, when you're resisting it, that's when you feel like at your worst. Once you actually accept it and you let it go, you feel pretty good because you already survived the worst. And that's what I really feel like is going on with this eclipse. I feel like a lot of us were afraid of it and we're trying to resist the change, but that's really the part that's the hardest. Once we give into it, once we listen to it and we go with the flow of things, it's going to be so much easier because we already put ourselves through all that mental torture. And so we have the 10 of Pentacles here. So yes, I'm definitely feeling like this is going to be something that truly affects every part of our lives. This is affecting our relationships, our home life, our money, our finances, our career, but it's also affecting our aspirations and our goals and the things that we're working towards. Especially, I keep going back to status, and I really feel like that's what the collective is going to be learning. Trying to chase status because you think it's going to make you feel better about yourself is not going to happen. It's not going to work. You're holding on to this idea that is only an idea. And that's what I really feel like the collective is going to learn with this eclipse. I really feel like there's going to be a lot of leveling ups and actually having more like sentiment with things and actually feeling very personally connected to things, where you're finding fulfillment through yourself because you're doing things that make you happy. You're not trying to live up to this role or this expectation that you placed on yourself or that others put on you. And I feel like a lot of people, you're really going to let the status of someone else's expectations crumble, and you're going to really see the light on a situation. And so I feel like this could go two ways for people. I feel like there's one group of people where you're putting too many expectations on yourself, and that idea of that status is going to crumble and you're going to realize it's not actually important. And then the other side, I feel like you're chasing validation through someone else, through some sort of situation or something, and you're trying to like get them to love you the way that you want to be loved, and they're not going to, or there's going to be something where you just kind of realize you can't keep chasing that anymore, because trying to chase it is preventing you from getting it in your own life, from actually finding happiness and security within yourself. And you're trying to get someone who doesn't want you in the first place. And this doesn't have to be a person, but I'm going with a person for this analogy. You're trying to get them to appreciate the value in yourself, but you're not actually valuing yourself. You're not finding the good qualities about yourself. You're trying to have them come and fix you, or have this thing fix you and make you feel better. It's almost like when you have a goal and you put so much weight on it, like I would be so happy with myself if I just lost this weight, or I would be so happy with myself if I had this job. And really the issue is not that you don't have those things. The issue is that you have to heal yourself first. And then when you get those things, you're going to feel good, because it's going to be additional good things coming to you on top of the fact that you were already happy with where you're at. And that's what I really feel like is going to happen for the collective, is that we're really learning to appreciate and value what we have in life currently, so that in the future, when we get other better things, we're going to appreciate them and not be so focused on what they bring to us, but how they enhance our lives, instead of trying to make them the sole purpose of our lives. And that's really what I'm sensing with this collective. I'm going to go ahead and use this next deck. It's the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And I'm going to see if I can pick up more like specific energy and what energy is coming towards us that we can expect, and then also what energy we have to give up. So we have the Broken Open card, and this is card 28. And this is so fitting because 2 + 8 = 1. Equals 10, and that reduces to 1 in numerology. And 10 in tarot is always an ending of a cycle that leads to a new beginning. And so for this to equal that is really telling me like this is what this lunar eclipse is for. It's embodying the energy where we're closing something because something new is starting. It's getting that offer from the universe, like we talked about earlier, where something is coming through. It's going to take us away from this current situation. And so some of you guys, it's not going to feel like it's a good offer, but in hindsight, you're going to realize it is. Because with this broken open card, this is really telling me that it's like we have to break ourselves open. And that's why I said the universe is really testing us, is putting us out on the line. And, if we fall, it's going to be okay, because we're going to realize that it's not the worst thing that happened to us. I really feel like with this card, it's almost like, when you have something and you get it and it doesn't work. And then one day, someone knocks it on the floor and all of a sudden it starts working because something got knocked into place. That's kind of the energy I'm picking up, where it's like, yes, we're being broken open, but it's not that we're being broken. We're unlocking what's inside. We're making things work correctly. And so we're getting into that place where we're taking this judgment card and we're becoming more authentic, because we're not allowing ourselves to go around carrying ourselves like we currently are. We're being broken open and we're showing what's on the inside of us, so that we can appreciate our beauty and find our own happiness, our own fulfillment, and find our authentic voice, and stop holding back from everything that's trying to come towards us that we're just ignoring. Now I'm going to go ahead and see what energy we need to release. These two cards came out. So we have a burst of magic and birds of a feather. So I'm going to start with this burst of magic. This is the energy that we need to release. And this makes a lot of sense for the collective. It's kind of what I was talking about before, where it's like we're waiting for something to make us feel validation through. We're trying to find fulfillment through something. And so the universe is saying, let go of that burst of magic feeling of like, this one thing is going to change everything and then I'm going to get on track. The universe is telling you, like, you are the one who has this magic already inside you. You don't need to wait for it to happen to you. You don't need to wait for this magic to come to you. It's already inside you. You're not utilizing it. And so it's about letting go of that idea and that fantasy and that illusion that you need something else to come and fix you, that you need something else to come and save you. I really feel like for the collective, this is about saving yourself, like putting on, sorry, I'm trying to figure out the right words to use. It's like trying to figure out how we can stand up for ourselves and portray ourselves in the way that we already want to be in, because that's what manifestation is all about. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. Like if you convince yourself that something is true and you believe it, then you're going to act like you already have it. And in turn, the universe is going to give it to you, because you're putting out this energy that you already have it. And so the universe is seeing that and being like, okay, they have it, so let's give it to them. Whereas when you resist it, when you feel like you're not deserving of it, when you're trying to get it through something else, the universe sees that as you lacking. And so the universe isn't going to give you things when you don't feel deserving of it. It's kind of like if you're trying to convince like someone to buy you a gift for your birthday and you act like you don't want the gift. The universe, the person isn't going to give you the gift. But if you tell them, oh, I really want this, you explain why you're excited about it, they're going to give it to you, because they're going to see your enthusiasm and they want to get you a gift that you're going to love and appreciate. And that's kind of what's going on with the collective. It's like when we manifest, you have to act like you want it and that you're like going to appreciate it and that you're going to be so excited when you get it. You don't want to put off this energy where it's like you want it and you're putting all this pressure on it. And then with birds of a feather, this is really reminding me of that saying, birds of a feather flock together. And this is that herd mentality where it's like you are just doing things because you feel like you have to, because you feel like society is telling you to. And this is also like when you're following what everyone else is doing, you're not standing out. You're not being authentic. And so I really feel like this is telling us that the collective has to let go of this energy of trying to stay connected to the point where you lose yourself. If you have similarities with someone, you can bond over that. That's fine. But this is when it goes past that. This goes to the point where you're changing yourself to fit in with a group of people or with a specific person, or just like to get to the status that you want. It's like trying to chase this goal, this pipe dream of yours, but losing yourself in the process. And we have to let go of that. I really feel like the collective is really going to have a wake-up call with this lunar eclipse over the next couple months, where we realize like at what point is it all worth it? And we really step back and in our own lives evaluate how much of ourselves we can give up before we have to find ourselves again. And that's what I feel like is going to happen. It's like we've been on this track where the collective collective has been losing ourselves. And now we are going to find out who we are. We're going to become more authentic, and we're going to let go of that, trying to stay the same. And we're going to let go of trying to fit in, because we all have people that we get along with. We're going to fit in by being ourselves. When you try and mold yourself to fit what someone else wants, that's always going to be temporary. That's always going to break. And that's why we have the broken open energy here, because it's like you can't live in a pretend, you can't, I don't know, I'm trying to word it properly. You can't pretend to be someone forever. Eventually that mask is going to fall. You're going to break. And that's what's going on with this broken open card. It's like that's allowing us to break so that our authentic self comes out, so that we embrace who we are and we find like-minded people that we can connect with, that we actually resonate with. We're not faking it anymore. We're not pretending to be anything we aren't. I really feel like that's what the collective is learning. Like, we can't just go on pretending anymore, and we can't keep chasing things in hopes that's going to change us, and because that's just putting us in this cycle where we keep pretending, that we keep faking things. And I really feel like, especially with being in 2020, that is a year of judgment, that we are all being forced to become authentic, and that in 2021 the energy is going to shift, that we're in the year of the world. So that's telling me it's like whatever, like, I'm trying to word it correctly. So going into the world, that is about endings, closures, cycles. And so that's when this lunar eclipse energy is following us into. It's like we're learning to be authentic. We're losing ourselves to find ourselves. And then once we find ourselves, we can let go of that final cycle where we lost ourselves. We can hold on to who we actually are, and we can level up with that. We can actually change the collective as a whole, and actually start evolving towards better things, and actually progressing better in our lives, so that we're not held back anymore. And I really feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going through a dark night of the soul and having their spiritual awakenings, so that they can level up and be the best version of themselves. I'm going to see if there's any additional messages from this deck. So we have Spirit of Gratitude, card 43. And so this is really what I was telling the collective, that we need to be, we have to have gratitude for things. We have to appreciate things. And with this flower, it's coming out of a teacup. And I think this is really just telling us as a collective to slow down, to relax and enjoy things. Because like I said, when we're trying to chase this ego and this status and what we want out of life and this validation, we're not taking time to enjoy who we are. We're not taking time to enjoy like the present moment and appreciate who we are, and accept our authentic self. Because on this chase to the top and to the status and to fit in with the crowd, we're losing ourselves, and we're not even acknowledging who we are, because we're putting on this mask where we're pretending we're not this person. We're ignoring we're ignoring who we are authentically, and we're trying to like rush past this. And so I really feel like that with this lunar eclipse, that we are really meant to slow down, that it's going to bring a lot of time in our life where we can just be with ourselves. I really feel like there's going to be a lot of, moments just for you, where you get to rest, where you get to be with yourself, you get to learn. I really feel like there's going to be a change where we get to study, we get to learn, and we get to actually like follow through with interest of ours. So I really feel like there's going to be a lot of new hobbies for the collective that we get to follow. We get to see what passions we have. And from there, we get to learn and really evolve them. And I really feel like there's going to be a purpose for that. I feel like whether it's like creating your business from that hobby, or that's how you meet the people that you resonate with and become friends with. There's going to be something that we start on the side that becomes a part of our daily lives. And this is even just like our daily routines where we take care of ourselves. I really feel like because we get to slow down, we get to connect with who we are. There's going to be a time where we actually get to be with ourselves and learn and discover who we are, especially because we're going from this time where we lost who we were and we weren't connected with ourselves. We're going to take time to connect with ourselves and also connect with the earth, ground ourselves. I feel like that root chakra for the collective is really going to be healed, and we're going to be able to reconnect with things and just get at a better state of mind because we're more grounded. We're actually focused in reality. We're not focused on all the what ifs and up in the clouds anymore. And I feel like that water energy from before, how that was out of balance, we're actually getting that earth energy now to come and ground us so that we can balance out and that we're not being pulled in all these different directions anymore. I think like things are going to become a lot more simple and a lot more clear for us. And that's going to be a little bit scary because we're going to be waiting for things to happen. And I feel like we're going to have a lot of patience and learn that it's okay that things aren't coming all at once, because when they do come into our lives, it's going to be really good and beneficial for us. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull more messages from this next deck. So we have melt into divine desire. And this is what I was talking about, being authentic, but following our passions. Because there's this divine desire, this is really telling you that whatever interests, whatever hobbies, whatever, your intuition is guiding you towards, is going to be really beneficial for you to listen to it, because that's how spirit is going to connect to us. They're going to connect to us by showing us what we need to do, by showing us where we should spend our time, and actually making us feel happy in the moment too. This isn't just going to be things that you're doing because you feel like you have to do them. You're going to want to do them. You're going to feel inspired when you do them. You're going to feel happy when you do them. And so that's really what the collective is going to be taking us towards, because we've lost ourselves. We get to discover ourselves through new things, through new interest. And so this is really telling me like there's going to be divine desire, and there's also going to be divine desire for the collective as a whole when it comes to actually loving life. I really feel like the collective, because we've lost ourselves, we become inauthentic. We're not loving our lives, and we're not loving like the people in our lives. We're not loving the things we're doing. And it's like there's become this sense of like boringness to the things in our lives. And I feel like for a collective, what's going to change is it's taking us away from doing what's comfortable and doing what we feel like we have to do. And we're really going to be changing and doing what we want to do. We're going to be having a lot more fun. There's going to be a lot more experiences instead of just doing what's familiar. I feel like your daily routine is going to be shaken up, but it's going to be in a really beneficial way, because it's going to lead to positive changes for you, where you get to learn and experience different things and grow and evolve as a person from it. I feel like everything that you're pulled to do during the next couple months is really going to change you, and it's really going to shape you while you learn who you are, while you rediscover who you are. I really feel like the collective is leveling up and we're growing up, and through that you have to try different things out. It's like when we are a baby, we don't know how to crawl, we don't know how to walk, but slowly you do it. You test what works, you test what doesn't. And that's what we're doing as a whole. We are testing different things out. We're seeing what we like and seeing what we don't like we're seeing what makes us happy and what doesn't. We're becoming authentic by seeing and saying no to the things we don't want to do anymore. We're not being fake anymore. We're not going to agree to do something and we don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to see if there's any additional messages. That's that card. So we have grace for the grand jester. And so this is really telling me that the collective is going to be receiving this offer. There's going to be a grand jester. But that starts by you learning in your life what you can do and what you can change to get this to come towards you. This is really about going with the flow of things, giving into this change and starting to feel like you have everything you want, starting to feel complete within yourself, and you're going to get it. It's not feeling jealous, it's not feeling envious for the things that you want from other people. It's about actually being happy with yourself. Start to find that validation within yourself, and then you're going to receive it. I really feel like the collective is going to be learning what we can do to better ourselves. And that's really what this lunar eclipse is going to do. It's going to take us away from the things that don't serve us, make us realize what we don't want anymore so we can go out and we can get it. And when we realize what we don't want, we also realize what we want. And instead of just wishing for it, we're going to go out, we're going to get it. We're not holding on to the ideas of things anymore. We are going to learn how to get that fulfillment through ourselves, how we make ourselves happy, because we're not going to be lost anymore. If you're lost, you're going to find a way out of that maze, out of that forest, wherever you are. And so that's what the collective is waking up to. We're admitting we're lost. We're accepting that we're lost so that we can get out of it, so that we can find ourselves again. We're not living in delusion anymore. And I really feel like the collective is going to be waking up, and it's going to be so much beneficial for us. So I really hope this resonates. If it did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. I do lives weekly. So if you like to see more of these, definitely hit subscribe. I would love to have you guys a part of this family, and I'll see you all in my next video. Have a good one. Bye.